Good morning, dear students. Today I will start chapter 15. Name of the chapter 15 is the air around us. Air around us. So I have completed last chapters and chapter 16. That study notes you can write from the study materials, and I have given there. And so till so last semester I am teaching chapter 16. In that chapter 16 completed, garbage in garbage out, and I will start today new chapter, and name of the chapter is the chapter 15, air around us. How do we know the presence of air? How we will feel? We can't see the air, only we can feel the air. We can feel the presence of air, but we can't see. So air is a gaseous state of matter, and it is invisible. We can't see the air, only we can feel the air. How do we realize the presence of air? How we will feel that? We can feel air. We can't see, it is invisible, but we can feel the air. And following examples will illustrate the point. When we rapidly move, the hand fan will feel its presence on our body. And when we sit in front of a moving table fan, we feel its presence. Obviously, if we will sit in front of the table fan, we will feel air, but we can't see. So when you will place few pieces of the paper in front of it, they are blown away. And so question is arises here, what is wind? So moving air is called the wind. Moving air is called the wind. Commonly moving air is called the wind. And if the wind blows at a high speed, it sweeps the dust, leaves, etc. along with it, and it can uproot trees. When it is very high, then it uproot trees, electric poles, and in such a situation we call it dust storm. And when this kind of situation will come, then we will say that it is dust storm. And everything on the surface of the earth is surrounded by the envelope of air, and this envelope of air is commonly called the atmosphere, and this is called the atmosphere. And air is very essential for all living beings. Air is very essential for all living beings, animals and plants. No living organisms can survive without air. No living organisms can survive without air. Let us try to find more about air by doing following activity. So only we can feel the presence of air, but we can't see. And activity 1, to show that air occupies space. How you will show that air occupies space? So for this activity, you will take glass trout half filled with water and glass tumbler. So this one, by this activity, this is the glass, and So in this activity, you will see that materials required. What are the materials required? So material required: a glass trout half filled with water and a glass tumbler. So in this activity, you will see that take a glass tumbler and invert it as shown in the figure 15.a. You can see take a glass tumbler and you have to keep it like this, and then you have to ensure that anything in it can falls down. And then in second one, now place the glass tumbler in the trout of water. You will notice that level of water inside and outside of the glass tumbler is not the same. You can see that when you have to invert, you will see that level of water here and in the glass tumbler is not same, and here water, you can see that it is that level of water is not same, it is different. And in next one, you will see that from this observation conclusion can be drawn that there is something invisible within the glass tumbler. Within the glass tumbler something is invisible. And now tilt the glass tumbler as shown in the figure 15.1, and you will notice that bubbles rises up in the water. Why? These bubbles are of air. Bubbles, this is the bubbles, it's coming out. So this is the bubbles of air, and which escape from the tilted glass tumbler, and to take the place of the air, the water rushes into the glass tumbler. And from this activity following conclusion can be drawn. So by this activity we can say that air is colorless and transparent. Air is colorless and transparent, and air occupies space, and at a matter of fact it fills the whole space in the glass tumbler. So what is air made of? What is air made of? Till the 18th century, all scientists thought that air is just one substance which is essential for living beings and for the combustion. So let us do some experiments to learn what is the components of air. Components of air. Components of air. Components of air. That is the water vapor, water vapor, dust and smoke. Water vapor, dust and smoke. So water vapor, recall the activities in chapter 14. We have proved that air always contains some amount of water vapor. Air always contains some amount of water vapor. And the dust and smoke, let us perform the following activity to show the presence of dust and smoke particles in the air. So this activity you can do in the dark room, and when something you have to do hole in the that light coming, so you will see that the dust particle. Activity 2, in this activity 2, to prove that air always contains dust or smoke particles. So materials required: an electric torch. Choose a room in your house, say storeroom, and whose doors and windows can be completely shut so that no light from outside enters it, and stand in the corner of this dark room and switch on the electric torch. And what do you see in the beam of torch light? So you will notice teeny specks of dust particles shine in the beam of light, and these particles are not stationary but are moving in a zigzag way. So from the above activity, it is clear that air always contains suspended particles which may be of dust, smoke or any other solid material, and the presence of dust particles varies from place to place and from time to time. So for the industrial areas, on the roads and high traffic, it is more. So this is the activity 1, air occupies a space, and activity 2, Air always contains dust or smoke particles. So till here you will take revision.